Welcome to Mishna study of Masechet Kilayim Perek Gimel Mishna Bet. Over here in Mishna, we're going to discuss a continuation from last Mishna, but a lot more basic, of what can be planted in the mini garden, right? If last Mishna we explained that you're allowed to plant 5 different seeds and how you're allowed to really navigate that little mini garden patch and maximize on space. Over here, we're going to speak, what are you allowed to plant in there? And we're basically going to say vegetables, right? We're not talking about grains. That was last Perek. And that's a field, and that's talking about the patches of 10.2 amot, right? That's not for this garden patch. That's what we're going to mention now, Mishnah. Before I get into Mishnah, I do want to mention quickly as an introduction what Harabam mentioned as an introduction in last Mishnah, and I didn't mention it enough or clearly enough. And that is, he opens up and says there are 3 important principles that you need to remember. First of all, we always need to remember before these 3 principles that Kilayim deoraita is when you take 2 seeds, 2 different types of seeds, and you plant them, but mapolet yad, in one shot, you plant them in the same hole. That's Kilayim. Everything else we're talking about over here is asur because of marit ayin, because it doesn't look good, right? The plants are growing too close to each other. It's an issue of marit ayin. Now, the ways around marit ayin are if the seeds are separated, or they're far apart enough. And Harambam gives 3 ways that you could separate these plants. How do you do so? The first way is either by having a ditch, right? That's a tefach deep and 6 tefachim long ditch, separating the 2 different types of species, so 2 different types of vegetables. That's enough. Or if you have a mound of dirt, that's 1 by 1 tefach, right? Just 1 fist, that's enough. Little mound of dirt separating, that's enough. Secondly, you could have a tefach and a half of empty space, right? We use that in the aruga, right? We separated between some of the seeds, we separated a tefach and a half. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of a distance, right? Of just empty, dirt. That's enough of a separation. And lastly, is if you take the actual leaves and you flip them to both sides, right? So you're not, they're literally right near each other, but you turn the leaves to the other sides. Now it looks like two separate species. Now, with that in mind, let's read our Mishnah. Kol min zra'im en zorim ba'aruga, right? All types of seeds of grain you're not allowed to plant in the garden patch. Kol min yirakot zorim ba'aruga. Vegetables, any types of vegetables, you are allowed to plant in the aruga. Now, when it comes to mustard, hardal, v'hafunim hashufin, right? There shouldn't be a comma over there. That's a mistake. So mustard seeds and these, literally, it's like a polished peas, right? But they're smooth, right? Those are considered ziraim. Those are considered not like vegetables for this. You're not allowed to plant it in the garden patch. But afunim hagamnonim, when it comes to larger peas, those are considered vegetables. All right, that's our garden patch. Now, parenthetically, this was really nice. I saw a ruler that you actually use to have, I guess they sell in Israel, that you can measure, between, vegetables that you're planting, just to make sure that things are not kilayim. So now, gevul. Let's say you have a little mound, a dirt, a border. That's a tefach high. Okay, that's good. That's enough of a separation. You can plant something on the other side. You did plant something on the other side. Beneath ma'et, now that little mound of dirt became smaller than a tefach high or thinner than a tefach wide. What do? Do you need to now uproot those vegetables? No. Kasher. It's kasher. Shaya kasher mitchilato. It's kasher now because it was kasher from the beginning. You're not allowed to go ahead and plant something new there until you fix the mound, but everything that grew there, you're allowed to let it continue to grow. Hatelem ve'amat hamayim, right? So now if you have this, literally it's a ditch or a water channel, right? Shem amukim tefach, that's a tefach deep. Zor'in etocham shlosha zir'onim, echad mikan ve'echad ba'emtza. You could plant 3 different types of species, one on one side, one on the other side, meaning on both I would say borders, right? The top edge of the ditch, and one right in the middle, and that's enough. That's considered enough of a separation, for Kilayim. And that sums up our Mishnah.